Hello everyone, my name's Jake and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about something exciting. So, Mayana over on Little Wolf Reads decided to host a readathon called the Booktube Games. It is loosely based on the Disney Channel games, which I used to love. I believe most people that watch them used to love them. It was a good way to see all of our faves, you know, compete and do shit. I'm one of the co-hosts of Camp Half-Blood along with Aisha. I'll link her channel below as well as all the other hosts because I don't remember who's hosting what team and all that because I'm a terrible video maker and I didn't take notes on that. So they'll all be down below. You can read that. The goal is for each of the 5 teams to whatever team reads the most pages by the end of the month wins. So that's okay. I'm holding a pencil. Why? I don't know because it was sitting there. Ooh, I don't know what's wrong with me right now, but I need to simmer down. I'm going to link down below a couple other announcement videos. Let me preface this TBR by saying I will not read all these books. I think I can read 20 books, but I guarantee they're not going to be these 20 books. Like, this is just like a loose TBR that I plan on reading at this point. It could change. I might get a new release or buy another book because I have a rule this year where whatever books I buy, I have to read them the month I bought them. And yeah, so I don't plan on buying any books. I was good with it last month, and I really don't feel the need to right now. Like, I already bought some books I wanted to read this month, and I have a couple pre-orders for books coming out this month that I'll read. So I'm hoping I'll stick to this 20-book TBR. But, whatever. You'll see. I'm a literal fucking mess, so Aisha and I we were talking about our group book, and we definitely wanted to choose something based on mythology, and literally, the first book that she said, I was literally about to type that same book up, so this was a very easy choice. So the group book for Camp Half-Blood that we'll be reading in the first week is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is about the story of Circe. What that story is, I'm not really sure. I'm not that familiar with it, if we're being honest. So this follows Circe, who is banished from the world of the gods to the world of the mortals, and all I really know is she possesses the power of witchcraft. I don't know really anything else about this. I know everyone that's read it loves it. It's one of my book of the month picks from months ago. I don't remember what month. April 2018, so it's been a while. And yeah, that's really all I know about this book. I know everyone loves it. This is the Camp Half-Blood choice for the first week, so if you read this and you're in Camp Half-Blood, then you'll get double points for it. But I'm very excited to read this. Like, out of all these books, this is probably what I'm most excited for because it seems amazing and everyone literally loves it, and I don't see why I wouldn't. I better love it because the paperback that's coming out is absolutely amazing and beautiful, and I want to like this enough to be able to own it. Multiple editions because I'm that kind of person, you know. So that's the goal here. The next book I plan on reading will actually be a reread. Kind of a reread. I've read this story before. This is a different form I'm reading it in. It's Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I thought, I'm a host to Camp Half-Blood. I better read at least one Rick Riordan book within this month. And I've been wanting to reread the Percy Jackson series so I can finally read the rest of his series. Because, yeah, I talked about this in my 25 Facts About You. I have a Heroes of Olympus tattoo. Well, it's based on ancient Rome and all that stuff. But this is also featured in the Heroes of Olympus series, and I haven't even read that series. I just knew I wanted something Percy Jackson related, and I decided literally the day I got the tattoo, and I don't regret it. I love it, so whatever. Anyways, I'll be rereading Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This is my first time reading the illustrated edition. I'm so excited they decided to do this for the series. This is my all-time favorite book series, so I haven't even read Harry Potter. I read the first 2 books, but I like that series. But to me, Percy Jackson's the superior series. It's there. I said it. I don't regret saying it. What I said is true. And it's the only opinion that matters, so I'll be reading this shit. Next up is another reread. This one is for the Hunger Along, I believe is what they decided to call it. All I know is Rhiannon hosts it from Crescent Moon Reads. I'll link her down below. But it's the second book in the Hunger Games series, Catching Fire. I read Hunger Games in January, or this month since I'm filming it in January, and this will be posted in January. I read the Hunger Games this month, and it wasn't even for the readathon. I read it for another readathon just because it fit the challenge, and I was like, well, I've been wanting to reread the series anyways. I read the first book in January, and that's when I was supposed to read it for Rhiannon's readathon. So I might as well continue it, you know? And I loved, like, rereading The Hunger Games more than I enjoyed it the first time. Did that even make sense? I have found that my worst videos are my TBR videos because I'm terrible at talking about books, especially when I haven't read them yet, so I apologize for this. Do I really, though? Yeah, I actually do, because I probably wouldn't watch this shit myself, but thank you if you are. Catching Fire. I'll be reading this in January. I'll be reading this in February. Have I been saying this is my January TBR? If so, this is my February TBR, not my January one. Sorry, next. This next one is another reread, and this is the last reread I'll be doing next. Nope, there's one more. Anyways, it's Salem's Lot by Stephen King. As I've stated before, I'm doing a Stephen King series in which I read all of his books in chronological order, and then I will watch all their adaptations, and I'm going to film a long review video where I talk about the themes, the connections to his other books, everything you can think of. This month I read Carrie. That video will be coming at some point in February, the first half. So, love that. Next up is Salem's Lot, which is his only other book that I already read before I decided to do the story. So I'm going to be rereading this, annotating it, taking notes on it, doing all of the above. Spoiler alert, I didn't care for Carrie, but I love this book, so. So this next one's a very popular book that everyone has read this series already. But I am new to the Cassandra Clare world, and I want to read all of her books this year. So, I only decided... Anyway. It's City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. So, I reread the first book, City of Bones, this month, and I'm going to read the second book next month. I really need to start reading more than one of her books each month in March, but as of now, I'm just going to stick to one this month because I have a lot of books I wanted to read. And yeah, so we're just going to read this. Everyone knows what this series is about. I own these editions. I do want to get the OG hardcovers, but we'll see. I do own the City of Heavenly Fire one, but that's it. So I want to get the rest of them. The next, 5 books I'm going to be talking about I actually don't own. They're all books that I either have ARCs of, e-ARCs of, or I have them coming in. So the first one is whatever my book of the month pick for February is. They haven't been revealed yet for as of when I'm filming this video, so I can't tell you what the book is, but whatever it is, whatever I choose, I'm going to be reading it, because like I said, whatever I buy that month, I have to read that month. And the next book I'm going to be talking about is another one that I don't know what it is yet. I have a book club with a couple of my friends outside of Booktube and the book community, in which we choose one word each month. For February is Rebellious. Then the 3 of us choose a book, and then we vote on which book we want to read that month that fits that theme. So I have no idea what our choice is. I do believe we'll have it decided before I post this video, so I'll edit that one in right here. So I decided to read The Color Purple. I'm not really sure what it's about. I haven't received my copy yet. I'll be getting that soon. But all I know is I really want to read this book. I know a lot of people really loved it, and like I said, I'm trying to read more classics. My only issue is I don't know what any classics are about. So I pretty much choose a classic every month and hope for the best. So nothing's changed this month. This next book I'm going to be talking about, I have an e-ARC of. It's called The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried. It is by Sean David Hutchinson. This is a zombie novel, I believe. That's all I really know. And lastly is one of my pre-orders for the month. I have 2 pre-orders this month. I have this one and then 4 Dead Queens. I probably won't read 4 Dead Queens in February because it comes out in the 2nd or 3rd. It comes out in the last couple of days of the month, so I'll probably just read it in March. But the other one is, my pre-order this month was Enchanté by Gita Trellis, I believe is her name. All I know about this is it's set in the 1700s and it's set in Paris. I really want to read more historical fiction and anything really set before 2000. And I want to read more stuff set in Paris and France, because if you didn't know, I took French for 5 years in high school. Can I speak the language? Maybe just like a 3 or 4-year-old. Still like the history and everything about that, so I'll be reading that also next month. So that was definitely the messiest part of this video, so we're just gonna move right along. These next 2 books, I actually have a special video coming out that I'm doing with some other friends on Booktube. I'm not gonna say what the video is. I'm not gonna say who I'm doing it with. But, so these next 2 books are 2 out of the 4 books we're gonna be reading for this video. The other 2 will be next month. This one is a reread, and it is, prepare yourselves, Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard. I have read the first 2 books in this, like, 16-book series, and I really enjoyed them. I love Pretty Little Liars, the TV show. It might be trash, but so am I, so we fit along perfectly. This follows a set of 4 girls that are being stalked and made to do crazy things by this person that goes by just A. They have no idea who it is, so the series is them trying to figure out who it is while trying to survive and keep each other safe and keep everyone they love safe. I love this series. I've only read the first 2 books, but I watched the TV show, and I'm going to be rereading this book, and I'll probably try and read the whole series, because I know there's a lot of different shit in the books than there is in the TV series, so why not? This next one is a book that I said I'd never read, and it is Fallen by Lauren Kate. You guys all probably know what this is. It's some type of paranormal romance. I have no idea what it is. I literally saw that it was one of the choices for this video. There's your hint at what the video is. I guess that wasn't even really a good hint. That's all I'm going to say, though. But I saw this was really one of the choices, and was like, fuck my life. So I bought it. Haven't read what it's about. Probably won't read what it's about. There's fallen angels in it. That's cool, I guess. So I guess I'm getting, like, Twilight vibes from this, but more like a darker, like, fallen angels and demons type of thing going on here. If you want to let me know what this is about down below, go ahead and let me know. Probably won't care. This next book is, not only this next one huge, but like the actual subject matter I know is pretty dense and confusing for someone that reads mostly YA and thrillers. But it is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Listen, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself in this month. Whatever. I have never seen the TV show, because I always was like, I want to read it before I watch the TV show, and I haven't read it. I actually did read, like, 1 chapter of this back, like, a year ago, and I kind of enjoyed what I read. It confused me a little bit, but I think if I was actually to get into this, I could understand and fully get it, whatever, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to justify to myself why I'm making myself read this. Not even to you guys. Like, I'm still trying to make myself understand why I'm doing this. But I don't think it's going to happen, so we're just going to move on. Next up is the sequel to one of my all-time favorite books. And I had an e-arc of this, and I still didn't read it, so I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's Nixia Unleashed by Scott Rainton. Scott Rainton. I don't know how to say his last name, so whatever. But Nixia follows a group of teenagers from around the world. They're all poor. They all were selected to go on the space mission, which I hate space books, but I love this series. So if that says anything. But they're all selected to go to space. So they're going to mine this substance called Nixia. And so the first book follows them on their trip up to this planet, where these 10 kids have to compete against each other. And a few of them aren't going to be able to make it onto the actual planet, and they're going to have to be sent back home. So the first book follows this competition. But it's way more, like, high stakes than it sounds. Like, I'm not going to say anything because spoilers, so you need to read it to understand what I'm talking about. But I've spoken about this series enough on my channel, so you guys probably kind of get what it's about. Anyways, this is the second book in that series. I'm finally going to read it next month, and I'm very excited. I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. I want to get into more true crime, whether that be podcasts, documentaries, books. So this one was actually sent to me from Steph over on Steph OK, so thank you, because I'm very excited to read this. And it's all about the case of the Golden State Killer. I also know that this book apparently helped them catch a suspect, or it might even be by now confirmed that he actually is the Golden State Killer. Like I said, I don't really know anything about true crime. I really want to get into it more. So I thought this would be a good place to start, since everyone talks about this book and everyone enjoys this book. So I'm excited to read this. There's a lot of other stuff I want to read. Like, I really want to read Helter Skelter. My sister's read it, or she has it. She probably hasn't read it because she doesn't know how to read, but these next two are both manga. They're both omnibus editions, so they're bigger, and I thought, what a perfect time to read them to get those pages in. So the first one is Corpse Party Blood Covered Volume 2. I read the first volume last year, and I watched someone play the video game. I only watched up to where Volume 1 goes, though, and I loved it, and I loved reading it, so I gave it 5 stars, so I'm very excited to read this. This follows a group of high school students. One of them is moving away, so they decided to spend one last night together in school, and they all do this, like, friendship pact thing, whatever. It ends up setting a curse, and they end up in this alternate dimension within their same high school, but now it's, like, an elementary school, and there's ghosts and shit starting to kill them all off. It is so interesting to me, and if you want, like, a good horror manga, I highly recommend the Corpse Party series. It is very good. This next one, I literally don't really know what it's about, but my sister got this for me for Christmas, and she just was like, the cover and synopsis sounded kind of cool, so I thought you'd like it. It's called High Rise Invasion. It's both Volume 1 and 2 in this edition, but from what I understand, this follows, like, people that are put in these skyscrapers, and then they're stalked and killed by these hunter guys, or I don't know if they're all guys, girls, whatever. Here's one of them. I don't know. But this sounds really good to me. Like, I love anything that's, like, predator, prey, people being hunted down and killed. That's my shit. So, the end of this says, a world of endless skyscrapers. How did she get here and why? Seven Seas Entertainment is the one that does this, so I'm sure it's good, but I guess we have to read to find out, don't we? My last 3 books I'm going to be talking about are going to be from my TBR jar, so I'm going to go ahead and grab her. I didn't end up posting my January TBR because I didn't like it, and I also don't like this, but I'm going to post this because whatever. So, I have a TBR jar. In it, I have every book that I own and haven't read. Each color means something. I forget what they all mean, so we're not going to talk about them. I'm just going to pull out something and read it. But my last month's choices, I picked The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas and Cinder by... Well, I actually picked Crest, but I decided to reread Cinder instead because I want to reread the first 2 books before continuing. Anyways, we're just going to choose 3 books from this, and those are going to be added onto my TBR. So, let's just start. So, my first choice is this orange. I believe this orange is fantasy. And, no, fantasy, dystopian, sci-fi. That's what I think it is. Let's find out. Are you fucking kidding me? So I was right. It is fantasy. Actually, I don't know, because I might have put this in my classic section, too. Regardless, I chose A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. So here's my first choice, A Wrinkle in Time. I've read, like, half of this. I read it, very early in January 2018, before the movie came out, because I wanted to read it before seeing the movie. Still haven't seen the movie, because I didn't finish the book. Regardless, I was going to unhaul this book, but I got this poster of, like, 100 books to read before you die, where you scratch them off as you read them, and this is on it. So it's like, I'll finish it, I guess. So, I guess I'll have to be held to that. I don't know if I'm going to listen to this on audio or read it physically. I listened to most of it on audio before. I didn't actually hate it. I just got really bored. I think I took too long of a break, and then I was like, I don't want to read this anymore. So, it's honestly really not that bad. But you'll get my finished thoughts on it after next month. Number 2. I'm gonna choose this from the top because I go. Actually, no. I'm gonna do top. Ooh, it's a long one. So this one's blue, which I believe is contemporary. I think. Let's read it and see. Okay. Okay. The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. I'm okay with this. As you all know, I'll Give You the Sun is my favorite standalone of all time. Like, I literally love it so much. It made me feel things that I didn't think I could feel because I'm literally a robot and don't have feelings. But anyways, this is her other book. I believe she wrote this one before I'll Give You the Sun. And this is another book that follows siblings, I believe, which are like my favorite types of books. So I'll be reading this in February now. I'm so excited. So far, we've had one good one and one. Let's choose our last one. Actually, you know, I want to mix this up. No, I don't. So let's choose our last choice. Mix it up. Oh no. I thought this was another contemporary, but apparently it's a different blue and my colorblind ass couldn't tell. So, I don't know what this is. What is this? This might be thrillers or horror. I hope it's a thriller. No, I hope it's horror. Let's read it. Dark Places. So it was a thriller. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I read Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, I believe in 2017. Yeah, 2017. And I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's really fucked up. And I'm pretty sure all of her books are really fucked up. So I really hope this one is as well because I love fucked up thrillers. And hopefully I love this. So there it is. All of the books I'll be reading in February this month. February next month. All the books I'll be reading in February. So that was an absolute mess. I don't know how to get better at doing TBR videos. I really need to get better at doing TBR videos because everyone cannot be like this one was. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, you know, do all the usual. Comment down below what team you're on if you are doing the Booktube games. And if you're not doing the Booktube games, go and sign up because you should be doing the Booktube games. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Actually, by the time I post this, sign up might be closed. So I believe it's closing on the 28th. So if this is past the 28th when I post this, then ignore everything I said about signing up because you can't anymore because you were too slow. But bye!